you've ever stood on the platform at Birchington-on-Sea and looked down the tracks, you've probably noticed something strange. For what was originally a quiet village of Birchington, the platform is staggeringly long. So I'm going to ask the question, why did a village the size it was possess a station capable of taking a 12-carriage train? So in this podcast today, we're going to be looking at some of the secrets of the Birchington Railway, hidden military tracks that once went down to Minis Bay, how the railway transformed what was probably quite a sleepy hamlet at the time into what became a Victorian powerhouse. To understand Birchington, we have to go back to October the 5th, 1863. Before this date, Birchington was just Birchington. The on-sea part of it was added as a marketing ploy for the railway. Before that, Birchington was really just a cluster of farmhouses and, of course, the church. But the Kent Coastal Railway changed everything. Initially, it was just a branch line leading to Faversham. It was kind of the Victorian equivalent of high-speed internet. So suddenly, a journey to London that used to take days on a coach was slashed to just a matter of hours. And the impact on Thanet was immediate. Birchington was no longer an isolated village. It actually became connected to the major part of the British Empire. Now, looking at this extraordinary railway platform, if you walk the length of it today, you're covering the distance that was designed for the Kent coast. Piece of land just beside the station is what used to be the yard. I think it's now derelict, but the land, I believe, still belongs to the railway. And this platform is so long, we come up to the back of what is the Roman Catholic Church in Birchington on Minis Road. When I used to commute to London, people actually used to stand this far up to get to the front part of the train to be able to get off at London Victoria. Many a cold winter morning stood up here. And the reason for this exceptional length is not just for modern commuters. It goes back to the Victorian era when Pullman trains came to Birchington. And that was in the 19th century and the early 20th century. Birchington became the hidden gem for the London elite. Long-distance excursions from London Victoria and Cannon Street, well, they were often 12 carriages long, and they'd be packed with holidaymakers and the wealthy travelling down at the weekend, or perhaps to move down upscale to the Minis Bay bungalows. During the electrification of the line in the 1950s, the platforms were standardised, and that was to ensure that the new electric slam door trains could serve the heavy traffic. It's a testament to time when Birchington expected thousands of visitors. Here's a story that not many people know, little known secret that many of us walk over on the fields without knowing it. During World War I, Birchington was more than a seaside escape. It was actually a military hub. In 1916, a secret single-track railway was laid, and that was from a siding near Birchington Station. And it cut right through the fields to Minis Bay, and also all the way to Manston. It was used to transport plane parts for the Royal Flying Corps and also the Royal Naval Air Service. Those tracks were torn up in 1928. Apparently, aerial photos of the cornfields actually reveal where the ghost of that line was. Birchington-on-Sea Station, and right next door is the Masonic Hall, which I seem to remember a few years ago had quite an extension. So Birchington Station wasn't just for tourists. It played a vital part in national defence. The railway didn't just bring people, it brought a new identity. In 1878, the station was renamed Birchington-on-Sea. This wasn't just a name change, it was a bit of rebranding. It shifted the village away from just an agricultural area to a coastal destination. And the railway allowed for the development of bungalows, some big bungalow estates where I once lived. In fact, Birchington hosts the first ever official bungalow, and without those railway tracks and the legacy of Dante Gabriel Rossetti, Birchington may have just remained a footnote in history. Next time you're waiting for a southeastern service to London Victoria, or perhaps now more often London St Pancras, take a walk to the very end of that platform. You're walking on 160 years of ambition, of war secrets. It's part of what built Thanet as we know it today. Birchington-on-Sea Station is a prime example of Victorian railway functionalism. It was built by the London, Chatham and Dover Railway, and the building reflects a mid-19th century boom in domestic tourism. Unlike the grand cathedral-like terminals in London, Birchington was built to feel like a friendly villa, somewhere welcoming. It features the classic yellow stock brick, popular around much of Kent, and in the original style of the building, had red brick detailing around the arched windows, and the steeply pitched gables on the roof. This wasn't just aesthetic, it was designed to shed the heavy rain and the snow from that blast from the North Sea, and it also has those classic ornate ironwork canopies, and they were very decorative and typical of the Victorian style. The main booking hall was designed with a high ceiling, and that was to create a sense of importance. This was in an era when most people rarely travelled more than 10 miles from their home. The station building was designed to look steady, solid, permanent and trustworthy. The station opened in 1863, and we know, of course, that Birchington became the retreat for the pre-Raphaelite and famous poet and painter Dante Gabriel Rossetti. It's likely he would have walked through the very station. During the beaching era of the 1960s, many of the UK stations and railways were demolished. However, Birchington-on-Sea survived. It's thought that the station waiting area itself had two separate areas, one area for the upper class and wealthy who came down to visit Birchington, and another waiting area for what was known as the lower class. Just outside the station, you have the building of the Birchington Masonic Hall, and then as you head up through Birchington, there is Station Road, which many people refer to as the High Street. And this, of course, is Station Road, frequently erroneously referred to as the High Street. But many of those early buildings reflect the style of the builders of the time when the railway station was constructed. Thank you again for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, then please hit the subscribe button and please leave a comment below. So for those that live in Birchington or have frequently visited Birchington, what's your favourite spot? So until next time, bye for now.